now I'm understanding. Are we first in agreement that drugs are under the current budget?
Yes.
We are agreeing with that. Number two, if it's under the current budget and we passed a vote on account, which means 50% of the vote on drugs is expected to stream down. So, are we not still talking again about financial discipline within our system, that each vote should serve its purpose? Maybe CCO that would be in a better place to explain this one. I don't know. Finance, maybe they'll tell us. Because I believe as these funds come down, I think we spend as per the vote. And then you come to realize that some votes that were intended to be expensed on a particular project or a particular expenditure, they are depleted. So at the end of the day, you find things are not working. So maybe as we move forward, I will still encourage this CCO finance. If we really need to offer the best services, particularly in health, let the votes remain untouched. Because that's where the problem is. That you can process everything, process the vouchers, but when you get down to the votes, whatever gymnastics happen inside the IFMIS and I don't know where, you find the votes are depleted and then no payments. So meaning that things will get stuck along the way. And again, still, finance people, they'll again tell you, no, we come in at the last stage. The people who process and manage the votes are the department. And sometimes even the people from the department, they find themselves, there is no vote. There is no money in that vote. What happened along the way, I don't know. So really, I think CCO finance, we need now to tighten the loose ends.
What you are advising people is, if anybody comes to the facility and has a condition that requires urgent attention, then they are directed to the available private hospitals around those regions. And what as a department we did not do was to commit ourselves and say we shall take responsibility. And I want to say is that I did not do that because previously I think the same was done and there were payments that were never made. And therefore there is that complaint, you approach a private hospital and then tell you last time we expected this amount to be paid, it was never paid. And therefore, let us deal with the patient silently and not through the department. These are the plans that we have in the department. And I'm happy that there was the mention that we are going to work together to ensure that we put in place systems that can work. Why we are in this problem is because we have debts that we have not cleared. So point number one is we have to get money to clear the debts so that we can now be in a position to go back to the suppliers and they are able to supply. So in the supplementary budget, we shall make, and we've already made a request that the debts for cancer, for Lancet, for meds be cleared. And then we had I think there is a...
How much is the current debt? Because if you say debt, it must be measurable. How much is the current debt for cancer?
For cancer is 76 million. For meds is 15.9. And for Lancet is 48 million.
So total is 100 and?
That is
16. So they are going to be cleared in this supplementary.
We have requested that we get funds to clear the sale.
So in the supplementary,
Yes.
you clear.
Yes.
You clear.
And that's why
Because there are some which have been there for quite some time. There was no evaluation. Because if you doesn't know the pain, you doesn't know the intense and the suffering of the people. You say you doesn't know, surely was it. Because I know. Do you want me to brief you how many people during the strike? Those who were brought in dead? So that you can confirm. Moi Hospital, Moi Referral Hospital, 21 bodies were brought in dead. That means they died at home. Wesu Hospital, 8 people brought in dead. It means they died at home. Taveta Sub-County Hospital, 5 bodies were brought. It means they died at home. So if you say you doesn't know Waziri, and you are the head of that department for sure, we need to be open to ourselves, because we are serving the people of Taita. So we need to bring this as an evaluation, so that when you are compiling your report, next time we might know how we can avert this, because we know the pain which people went. So the strike took place. Having the notice, what were your alternative plans? That was the simple question I wanted you to answer. What were your alternative plans for offering services, even if it's private? Because if you say in your own capacity, we are talking to you as an office, you would have contacted the CCO, the county secretary, even the governor. So what were your plans, knowing that the strike is coming and there is a notice for alternative, services to the deposit, rather than watching them die in pain and suffering? So that was the question, the alternative.
Sasa labda tuseme kwa mfano labda hatujapata hayo mapendekezo. Sisi supplementary budget tumeletewa tukaambiwa fanyeni hapa tubane hivi, tukate hapa ili tayari hiyo pesa tuiweke standby ikiwe na ngojea hizo emergencies. Hatujui. Lakini takapofika mwisho wakati pesa imekosekana, supplementary budget labda wataileta leo ama kesho kutwa, alafu tutaambiwa kwamba sisi kama bunge hatuyachukua majukumu yetu kuweza kuwasaidia kwamba hiyo pesa ipatikane. Sasa tunaona ni blame game mnatuletea ya kwamba hapana, sisi tushapeleka supplementary ambapo ndio tunatarajia kwamba kuna pesa tulikuwa tayari tumeona ya kwamba ni savings, tulikuwa tunataka waende waangalie wapitishe kwamba hizo pesa tuzitumie kwa mtindo huu, lakini mpaka sasa hivi hatujaipata. Sasa ikifika pale tunasema ni mwisho ni county assembly, na sisi hatulijui. Kwa hivyo ndio nimesema kwamba kama kuna uwezekano wa kushirikishana na mapema, tushirikishane na mapema ili tuweze kutatua hili tatizo, kwa sababu nia yetu, nyinyi mnahudumia wananchi, hata sisi wananchi wao ndio tunawahudumia. But there is some arrangements which the health department walikuwa wanajaribu kufanya, because there is some serious cases which we have to, kama mama kujifungua, na hiyo ni purely 100% government policy. We can't keep quiet. But they were trying to look other avenues, labda hospitals zingine ambazo zinaweza zikatoa hizo services on behalf of the county government, and then baadaye they settle those issues. Kwa sababu sasa naona sisi basically tunaangazia mambo ya pesa peke yake, lakini services je kwa wananchi wetu inakuwaje jambo kama hilo likijitokeza? Sasa tunakunja mkono wote tunaangalia. So now what we are trying, ile ambayo tunataka pia ufungue zaidi, you think outside the box, ni kana kwamba how will it go about kama cases kama hizo zikitoka, kwa sababu mama kujifungua huyo anatakana purely huo ni mzigo wa serikali, si mzigo hata wa bibi ama bwana, huo purely ni mzigo wa serikali, na serikali imetupatia hayo majukumu. So ni wewe unajua ya kwamba mama yote atakayekuwa na kesi tayari, maana unaweka hata kwa public, mama yote ambaye anataka kujifungua akiripoti kwetu apatiwe ile kama ni notification, atatumwa mahali ataenda kupata hiyo huduma na serikali itajua. So you have also to consider issues like that. Na kuna ile magonjwa ambayo yanajulikana ya kwamba we as the government we have to take care of. Kwa hivyo ni lazima pawe na arrangements zingine. Ndio unasikia chair anakuambia ya kwamba what plans do you have, not only because of money, lakini pia kuna zile services you as the head lazima unajua ya kwamba watu wako wanasaidika kwa njia gani.
This week. So with this one we'll be able to finish that deadline which was to end that agreement that by 5th of every month we should also have paid. And as a department, we are aware of the commitments which the government entered into with the unions. Should there be any case of a delay in future, we will communicate with the unions appropriately in time. Because there was a date of 27th. So should it reach 27th and we have no hopes of getting funds before 5th, we'll be able to communicate to unions. But for the current month we are in, we'll pay by 5th. In fact, our plans are we even pay by this Friday, but we are committing to pay by 5th. On the issue of us, I think as a department, we are using a different approach, especially this current financial year, because all the issues, the challenges maybe which we had last financial year, want to be things of the past. And some of these challenges we face just comes as a result of what we are allocating in our budgets. If you look for the budget for 18-19, the other item for drugs, it was just a mere 52 million. In the current budget, the original budget, they put 100. In fact, the supplementary, which is soon coming to the court assembly, you will see the figure we have for drugs. We have put over 200 million for drugs. Because we don't want this issue of always having shortage. And another challenge is that even the reason why we are finding us having difficulties to clear even the desk with cancer, with the projections we are getting from departments, almost 40 million per quarter. It means you need in a given year to allocate over 180 million for drugs. So if you compare with the figures which we have been allocating money for the last 2 years, they have been very little. In fact, I think we have been under budget. But currently, the budget we are having, even the supplementary coming, it is going to address all these issues. For drugs, we have put over 200 million.
We have stock medicine, we pay our nurses, we do all things. We would have avoided all that. But it is very, very unfortunate, Chair, that year in, year out, we must have strikes so that we can sit down and start seeing how we're going to solve things. I don't know, as the people of Taita Taveta, as the leadership of Taita Taveta, for how long are we going to subject our people to these problems? For how long are we going to subject our people? Matters health are very key. Unless you have a healthy county, you cannot do the rest. But it looks like year in, year out, we must have strikes. There is no medication in the hospitals, so that we can come and sit down and start trying what are we going to do. I don't know what is the way forward for this thing once and for all. I think we have been given our own governments. We have been given responsibilities that we are going to be in charge of our own affairs. As a people of Taita Taveta, monies have been devolved to the counties. We have put in leadership. Why all these problems, Chair? Thank you so much.
Tunataka huyu mwana pesa atueleze ni kweli kuna uhakika kama huo, hatu expect any strike, tusiwe kwamba tunaketi hapa tunajadiliana na tena kutakuwa na strike na maafa mengine. Alafu tena kuna hii mambo ya NHIF. Nitaiongea kwa sababu tunaongea mambo ya pesa. NHIF ukienda Moi, kuna wale ambao wanatumia NHIF na wanafaa wapate madawa pale. Lakini kuna madawa hayapatikani pale. Inabidi kwamba anaambiwa aende anunue. Sheria inatakikana kwamba hata nyinyi wenyewe mnawanunulia. Si kuna zile pesa ambazo zinakuwa limited pale za NHIF. Sheria inatakikana kwamba sisi wenyewe kutoka county government zile pesa mnapata mwanunulie, mnaelekta risiti ili na wao zinakatwa pale. Ni mkakati gani mmeweka ili mwananchi wa kawaida mwenye hana pesa, mwenye hana lolote anategemea hiyo NHIF ili asipate matatizo?
I think strikes are not disasters. I think what they should have brought in their report should only show how they are going to make sure that there will be no strike once again. Because I think they should be prepared enough on how to pay the casuals and whoever is supposed to pay be paid under that ministry. We don't expect strikes so that we can come and sit here and ask them questions. In their reports, we expect them to show us how they are going to make sure there will be no more strikes and our people will be getting services as expected, and not how they are going to tackle the strikes. Just as I've said, with no strikes are not disasters. Thank you.
Kama mzigo kama hiyo utaverify vipi? Huwezi jua mpaka wawe hapa ama maofisa sana ujamaa wao ukifika nikibandani raha haya tena na verify.
You are not taking an obligation. That means who rely on public facilities are not catered for. They council side, so they are expected, even this month on or before 5th, they are paid and all their deduction. The people who came to you to go to private facilities, so you are directed to go in the hand, where at Moi, because he could not access the dialysis. And after that, we say maybe we are going to expand our minds. Yes, another strike come. How prepared are you? Because we also have money for emergencies. So put down how many people we lost in this second strike, how many people we lost, and give us the way. Who is going to take responsibility of it? Do we just say they died, let them pay? Those who died during it, who will take responsibility?
Pay those outstanding bills so that in cases of emergency, whether there is a strike or no strike.
Number 4, on the modalities on how you have, what's your priority? Because we have shortage of 430 nurses. Real budget. You prepare, you go to so that we may not go in this conflict. We are having short of drugs. There are no drugs in hospitals because, but first of all, I want to know how many health department function.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. We have
a partially, blind person is leading someone who sees. Because if in those documents, we are very much interested about this, also determining, because it's air that it was not utilized well. Do you think they will continue funding us? So these are the things, Madam, not been in office that time, but it's an office. Your predecessor, you can sit with him so that you can give them a date for particularly that. If there is any additional,
the ones such like things. So I think they will have to submit this document, report to somebody who is below him professionally. I'm a dick.
Ili kesho tena tusije tukaanza kutoa aibu. Hiyo tu ndio ilikuwa.
Asante, the speaker today to issue summons so that we affirm that you have to be here because we want to finish this thing by Thursday.
Consequences and what is required.
So where will they get this money? You are creating a buffer, yes, but from where? Maybe they count.
And at that stage, because we had a meeting and all the